Greetings, greetings, greetings. It's Arian here once again, uh, coming to touch on the subject, Ascension, giving, not so much an update, but overview of what the Ascension process is so far, some of the mechanics of it that will be followed, but also, just how it is personal as well. So the basis of this is what is Ascension? What is it really? How is it working? How is it taking place? How can I get involved? And where is it leading? Where is, what is the next step within this? So just want to touch on all that with this video. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for tuning in. It is always an honor and a pleasure to share and co-create. So ultimately, let's just, start. What is Ascension? First and foremost, ascension is a choice. It's a choice to be a part of evolution, to grow at the soul level, to allow it to move upward in the spiral, in a progressive level to a higher level of consciousness, giving you access to newer dimensions and frequencies and opportunities. So that would be just kind of a baseline. What is ascension? How does it take place? Well, there's so many things, once you make the choice that you wish to be part of Ascension, it, requires an action and participation, which is working with energy, working with, your energy, your body, your being, your hologram, all of this, because you are working to shift the entirety of your being into another manifestation, into another state of being. So by doing that, your actions, any kind of energetic practices, spirituality, exercise, things like that are all pertinent because they're allowing new energies to come in and they're allowing you to spin. Biggest thing to move along ascension, which is, evolution, is getting in your vortex, your toroidal field, your spin, making sure you're always spinning, always spinning. The faster you spin is what it means to climb higher dimensions and frequencies. So, and the faster you spin, the more you release that is no longer serving you. Lower thought forms, ego, judgment, greed, desires, things that don't support the highest and best, are part of an old paradigm. And that as you spin more, those denser energies cannot sit within a higher spinning and vibrating state of being. And that's what, ascension is essentially, is always being in your spin, always being in your vortex, working your chakras, working your central column, your prana tube, which connects you to source and Mother Earth. And this is how you pull in, source energy in through your being, in through your heart. It's how you live in through the heart. So having some type of working knowledge with your energy or guided meditations of some sort is, absolute must to be part of ascension. If you're not working with your energy, you're not able to spin faster and accept the higher frequencies, and to move into higher consciousness, there's different processes and steps to go through that allow you to step into, more unconditional love and more balance and centering, which, will allow you to step into the higher frequencies and exist, without any lower thought forms and anything like that. If you're just like in school systems, as we know, if you're graduating, say from 10th grade to 11th, you're not going to carry 10th grade mechanics into 11th grade classroom. So you're just going to go right to the 11th grade classroom. This is the books, this is the tutelage, this is what can happen, and not looking back at that because you're in the now moment. So that would be a basic, aspect of that. So granted, you're making, all the energy stuff, whatever allows you to spin faster and make the connection. You want to connect with your guides, your your master guides, your master angels, and your ascension team. They're the ones that are going to help you and assist you to evolve. That is what we ultimately want as a soul, is to always be continually evolving and growing, exploring, experiencing, and expanding. That's like the basis of creation. How it happens are many, 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 many facets and where that can lead. So, but granted, once you're working in your energy fields, this is where it takes place, and, big question to ask, do you know where you are in your ascension process? Have you connected with your guides? Has anyone helped you with this ascension process and, explained to you where you might be or what you're working towards? There's, a lot of uncertainties, a lot of confusion about it, and if you're not getting guidance or clarity, from these realms, then, chances are you're not, uh, moving through the higher stages of the ascension process. As long as your basic spiritual path and, staying focused, I mean, you're always, evolving. It's just at a very slow rate to start moving into this greater ascension process requires a little bit more application and participation, on that. So it's not that you have to have clarity and hear your guide and whatnot. Uh, as long as there's others around that are, pioneering this way and are sharing these mechanics, how you can actually be a participant in your own ascension, and, giving the basic mechanics, then it becomes a personal process. How do you move through the ascension? Through your given reality and your given energetics and what you've experienced, what you're going through, it all becomes personal, but there are some, core things that will definitely be there, and that's, one of the things when you're working with your guides or working with some type of, energy or, other humans that are walking this path. And if they're walking this path, they will be explaining it, and you can be guided through there, until you get to that clarity, So there's many ways to get there. There's not one specific way, so just taking that in mind, ask yourself, do you even know? Have you asked? Have you asked your heart or asked, intuition, to see maybe where you stand and see what's really happening on that forefront. It's very, very important, to have a basis, It's like a gauge, if you're trying to get from A to B and you're just kind of wandering, how do you, there's no certainty that you're going to make it to B. Maybe eventually, and that's fine. No rush, there's no hurry. Right now, we're just working more with a very focused intention where, okay, this is what we want. Now we want to work towards it. So how can we work towards it? Okay, these are the different steps and processes, So once you've made the choice, now you're making the actions for it. You're following energy or whatnot. There's a lot of things that come into play that will take place. One of the first things in stepping into the higher ascension process is you'll receive a complete new upgraded etheric body, a whole new aspect. Kuan Yin will come in and perform this. It's called Awakening the Divine Heart, and it's a complete oneness template, which is your fifth dimensional template, your oneness body. And it's absolutely amazing. What comes in is you get a whole new Socratic system. You get new chakras, new configurations. You get some up here in the shoulders and down below. These are for your wings. You're going to be angels. This is what we're moving to, the angelic beings of light. So these, and then a couple additional chakras within here and a little bit out, they allow for a new energy configuration, allows you to tune into higher frequencies. So this is one of the first things that, is first and foremost to really be actively moving through the ascension process. Once you receive this Awakening the Divine Heart template, you go through a series of stages. They give you all the new chakras, and everybody gets them activated instantly when you get the chakras. So then they do a bunch of other templates where they're activated in your etheric body, but for you to bring it into the physical, you have to be a vibrational match, meaning, achieve that level of consciousness which allows these other things. So, and it goes pretty fast after that as long as you're really actively participating. So one of the first things they do also is you get your brain hemispheres actually wired together. So they become one operating brain, no more duality within the brain either. And then it's all operating as one whole being of light. And this happens, you'll feel it, see it on this etheric level, and then it's there in your etheric body, and you actually bring it into the physical when you become a vibrational match that you've achieved a level of consciousness to allow that to come into a physical being, So that happens, and then you also receive what they call the oneness over body, which is it replaces your four lower bodies, the emotional, physical, four lower bodies. Them are basically, bodies of separation. So you get a complete new oneness body that overlays all of them. And this is also, you get a light body that connects over that, which holds in the higher harmonics. So these are what you'll eventually move into. So on top of this oneness body, what you also will, your heart, your etheric heart will move right here from your heart space, and it'll move up to your chest, to the high heart. And you'll feel this etheric heart move. And then if you are a vibrational match when this takes place, or down the road, your physical heart will move there, as well to link up right with that etheric heart. And it is absolutely amazing. And instead of it kind of your heart pumping outwards, it pumps upwards and downwards because it's in your central column, your prana tube, which connects you to Father, God, Source, Creator, I Am, and also to Mother Earth. So this is important, getting this new placement of the heart. And then this allows for the divine heart to come in. When you get the divine heart, it's this huge, big overlay that comes over that. And when you get this divine heart, it carries higher harmonics and everything, all the new aspects wire in through this heart. So once this comes in, then it starts wiring into all of your body, your brain, your pineal, all throughout your body, and you actually get a new cardiovascular, a new circulatory system, a new artery system, and you get a whole new energetic system, new nadis, new meridians, new acupuncture points. All these come in, you're getting a brand new setup to step into. That's what you're going to ascend into, a new framework, a new template that allows you to bring in the higher harmonics of light. And this is what it means moving into more angelic light being presence with all these things. So as your heart moves in, it connects all these new wirings, new configurations. You get a whole new template, which is absolutely amazing. As soon as you start connecting, you just feel these strong energy centers. And then Kuan Yin comes in and she puts lotuses right in each one of the new chakras, so they expand and grow, and allowing you this great new energy configuration. It's absolutely phenomenal. And then she places 3 blue gems, jewels, one in the pineal, one in the back, which is this hippocampus, and then all the way down in the high heart. So it makes like this triangulation of energy, which allows for a greater connection to source and faculty of higher energies and higher spiritual state, you could say, more expanded state, which is beyond this form so much. So it's really amazing. When this comes in, this is the initial aspect. This is your 5th dimensional oneness body with all its etheric aspects. And what happens from here, it actually grows. You keep building on this, So don't limit yourself to, I'm only going to the 5th dimension. You can actually bring in more overlays, more templates, which is like these fabrics of creation that allow you to move through different dimensions, So it's basically how much application and action you take in your process will determine what more, what new stuff you may receive, new energies, maybe even new chakras, maybe diamonds in your chakras, just absolutely amazing things. They do a new prana tube, which normally it's like 1.5 inches, and then you get a new one that's like a whole nother inch bigger. So it allows you even more energy to come right down through source, to come through. You can get higher aspects which allow new light bodies to come in too, You get like a crystalline spine and a crystalline skull, which, oh wow. And then these activate into a new Earth Star chakra and a new Soul Star chakra, where you got all these like rainbow filaments of light that feed into each one above and below, and it allows you to spin even more, and that's the key to ascension, is spinning. So the more you're spinning, the more energy you're bringing in, the more templates you're bringing in, and the more opportunities you have, to explore in these different dimensions. And that's, we'll talk about the transfiguration into the light body, and that's where it'll matter when all these different dimensions and stuff. Right now, we're bringing all this stuff into the physical until we reach the ascension event and that's, personal for each person whenever they qualify that they're ready for that. We just keep bringing it into the physical and embody it more, having fun with this, because also you will be doing huge upgrades on your physical being, your hologram. You are to recode it and change it completely and totally. It'll start changing when you get the oneness over body and such. You'll be placed into a diamond light chamber, which will spin you very fast and allow new codings to come in and bring in the new divine blueprint to accept that. Another important factor of this ascension process, why if you're not connecting with your teams or someone leading you, is one of the bigger aspects of changing your physical being, to allow these higher codings and templates to move into a permanent placement, is the atomic accelerator. The atomic accelerator is ran by 2 different places on the Earth, and also the new place, so they're still doing some switching around there. You'll be taken to the most appropriate place, either in Telos, down in the inner Earth, or in the pyramids. that Serapis Bey works. So either of those is where you would be going to the Ascension flame, which is the purity flame. You'd be first sit and you'd bathe in it, and it's this huge purifying with every color sacred flame in there, and it just burns through you, and it dissolves all these lower energies that you're qualified to release. Stuff that does not serve you. And then after you go through the purity flame, which is the ascension flame, then you step into the atomic accelerator. The atomic accelerator spins you so fast it allows you to change your whole atomical structure, your whole physical being. So they send coatings in through you while you're in this atomic accelerator spinning really fast, and you'll literally feel your body shift, change, contort, and move, like reconfiguring like a big puzzle piece, allowing you a better alignment with yourself. You'll start feeling your spine straighten out more, your posture fix up, your chest bow up, and how you're supposed to be a energetic being, when you're in alignment. These are the shifts that happen, and this can happen on a regular basis depending on how fast you're moving through the ascension process. So once you're getting these oneness overbody overlays and everything, and then you're also connecting into the atomic accelerator, the purity flame with your ascension team, and those who are running the ascension programs, then you're getting very accelerated, and you're going to see you're spinning very fast. You're always in your vortex, and life becomes very effortless. You're not directing it so much with lower functions because you're flowing and dancing with all of creation simultaneously. So you're not trying to direct from the mind. You're allowing it to flow from source into your heart and then flow into your unique aspect. You use the mind then to translate and interpret the knowledge and wisdom that comes in through the heart from God's source creator. So, and that's one of the first aspects of really stepping into the ascension process, doing this. So if you have not moved through that, that's something to consider. These are just parts of the ascension process. This is what everybody will have to go through and experience, in that essence, to really take part of the ascension process. So how that happens, it's also the personal aspect comes in. Where are you at in consciousness? What are you qualified for? How much are you willing to just let go and release and cancel all those old energies, contracts, and whatnot? The more you can release them, the more you can step into higher consciousness, because it's letting go of all the old paradigm, which is just doesn't serve our highest and best. So once you let go of that, then you move back into connecting with all of creation, your higher self, God, creator, source, your guides, and all that. It's right there. It flows right through you, and then you move in this like symbiotic dance, like feeding back and forth, not directing it from this lower form. So granted, that's in alignment now for your ascension. You're going through whatever your unique aspects are. What you're experiencing, will be very unique. How you feel and what you connect with. One of the greatest overall summaries of the ascension I've learned through my own process and what they tell me is really, ascending means stepping back into unity consciousness, and that's where once you let go of the lower forms, which have been all modes of separation, all of our lower bodies, everything was designed to keep us separate from the unity field in God, creator, source, So what it is each step you're moving in, one, you're reconnecting with your cells in your body, your organs, all of your atoms, molecules, because they're all extreme pure intelligences within you. These are elemental intelligences of light. They make up your being. The 5 sacred elements, they're in there, and they compose all the different elements. So part of the ascension is reconnecting with all of creation within you, and then as you make this, you start having this very nice symbiotic relationship with your whole body. As you receive the oneness overlays and everything and the new energies, you start feeling this bond, this relationship, and then speak to them, call upon them. When I do activations, I say, I activate, say the tree of life in all of my being, bodies, and cells. I call it in, and all of it, it's like I'm not denying any of them. They're a part of me just as I'm a part of them, so I leave them included. If I'm, hey, I call to you, God, to clear my subconscious today and within all of my being, bodies, and cells, knowing that they're intelligent and they hold those energies as well. Well, let's conclude them all. There's no denying it, and that's what they're showing me. And through this ascension, it's reconnecting with all of creation. And then you're like, you're no longer directing from the lower ego or the lower self, which doesn't support itself. It only strives for its singularity, or its individuated expression, and this identity, which is, separate from all of creation, our brothers and sisters, nature, and then the cosmos, and then God, creator source, at the highest level, you know. So once you're making the connection inwards, you're also reconnecting outwards. As you do this, you feel even finely and more intimately connected to the elements. You'll go outside and you're like, all of a sudden, you're feeling a deep intimacy with plants, with animals, with, just the elements, air, water, earth, fire, and ether. You feel this greater connection. You feel like, these are intelligences. I know this, I'm feeling this, I'm experiencing this. And it becomes, wow, this is amazing. So now you're reconnecting here, because as you ascend, everything operates through unity consciousness. That's what God is at the greatest level. It is the totality of all of creation. So to ascend is to move back into that God self, into that God realization, which is, I am not separate. I am all of creation, and all of creation is what I am, all expressing through. There is a unique character that's coming through here, and that is what I work with. I am Arian, and that is not that I am separate. I am Arian, meaning I am is all of creation moving through me for the unique character of Arian. And we have fun. Don't deny the character, but the ego, which is lower, which is more of a singular identity or individual identity that wishes to separate. Not this expression. I wish to unite and collectively co-create, because I know that's where my strength, love, support, and potential and opportunity is. It's only increases when I connect more with creation, and that's what they're showing this ascension process also. So as you move into the oneness body overlay, you start connecting with all of yourself, and then that also allows you to connect with all of creation. And this is how it moves backwards and forwards like a figure eight. When you call in something for you, it feeds into your body, and then also all of creation. And then when all of creation is being loved and supported, it also sends back to its creation. You know what I mean? So it's a continuous supporting system. Once you move into this ascension, which is just unity consciousness. And there's many degrees, many frequencies, many dimensions, but there's no need to even focus on the mechanics. Just focus on your joy and what you are able to extend into. So this is, oneness. This is unity. This is what it means to move into unity consciousness through ascension, is reestablishing the energetic centers within and all around, knowing that you are a cell in the bigger Godhead body. You are acting as one little teeny aspect, a fabric, a microscopic aspect of God, of the totality of God. Somewhere we are in that part. So just as we'd call to the cells in our bodies, we are the cell of the bigger body of God, creator source, the I am. That's what we are, So when you recognize it within you, you're saying it also, as it is above, so it is it below. As it is within, so it is all around. So you're seeing it that it does not separate itself unless we choose to. When you move into the ascension, you choose to reconnect and reunite with all of creation within and all around. So that's a huge thing. That's a absolute theme that does not, no matter anybody moving through this ascension process will have that experience. That is one thing that is for certain, the oneness body, and that is for certain. How you move through it, how fast, how you connect to it, what guides you're connecting to, and what new energies you get is all based on your own unique aspect, and how you direct energy, what you're going through, who you connect with, and that's when it starts getting really, really fun then, and then as you are qualified for the higher level of ascension, then you will be approached by an angel of some sort, will offer you to lift you up into the absolute reality, which is the fifth dimension and beyond, of love and light. This is what we're all working towards. So what will happen then is you will be lifted up by the Lords of Light. They will take your energy body and they will lift it into the absolute. Now this is the first step. Your energy body is now going to be in the fifth dimension in the absolute reality, as well as having your etheric overlays of the oneness bodies that you're moving into. So you are stepping into a greater process, allowing the ascension more to move through you. You've released yourself from the fourth dimension, which is what many people are in right now, is the fourth dimension waiting to graduate. And that's what happens is you are qualified for that step in your ascension process. Then you are able to be lifted up, and that you'll gather, if you have any scattered soul fragments out there, to move them into this timeline that you're ascending in. And then, we lift up into the grace and glory of God, of Creator Source. This is what it means to be back into that state of perfection, which is eternality, you know. And as you do this, there is still a process before you receive, that full transfigured light body that is truly perfect. But this is the process. You work through it. You receive the oneness over bodies and the templates, and you step in through them. You go through the purity flame and the atomic accelerator, and then you're lifted up into the absolute of the fifth dimension and above. And now you're cooking. You're like moving. You'll feel it in your whole field, in your energy. You'll just be spinning away, and just loving life. Everything will be really effortless everywhere you go. Everything's, it just flows, Granted, you may be challenged with some different things which are designed to help you step into a greater level of self-mastery. Some of you may be working to be an ascended master, more than just jumping into the ascension, but at a very high level. So you may receive different challenges, different initiations and rites of passage along with this, and that's going to be unique to you as well. It'll be right there included in your daily life, and you may not even know it's happening, and that's the beauty of it all. It's supposed to take you by surprise so that you can grow from it, see it, recognize it as you're moving through the higher levels of consciousness, And this is, as you're doing this, you're just becoming more love, pure love, because you're all this lower thought forms that, like emotions and things like that, they disappear at that moment, because they're not our truth. They're not what we really are. They're only aspects that are reactions to our current reality, that doesn't support the highest and best. So as we move into these other things, they support your highest and best, and that you are a being of energy and of light and love. They support and fully honor and embody that. So that's why moving through these, it makes it much more effortless and ease and flow and grace to move through life in this process, and then you are able to serve others just through your presence, your very loving presence. You'd be just absolutely amazed how when you step into these higher frequencies, when you're just sitting in a room, people will come up to you. What's going on? There's something, and you'll notice many people will just start attracting and maybe strike up a conversation, and you just gotta giggle knowing that, yeah, that's your divinity as well. You feel that, you remember that, you know that. And that's how we can really bring great changes, just through doing and being the best that we can in our own pathway. As we make ourselves more whole, we're creating a new wholeness in the earth, the collective field, which is an embodiment, a full body. So if we're not in wholeness, then that's one piece to the greater whole that's not whole. As we repair ourselves, become a whole, it also feeds a collective. So your presence will feel that, but it also be feeding to the collective. And then as the collective becomes more whole, it sends it back down to us. And you see, you just keep supporting itself through that figure eight, the infinity, back and forth, and it just keeps building and growing. And then by this, you're really moving along. This is the ascension process now, and you're going to have some very unique and personal experiences during this. These are just some of the basic things that are undeniable through the ascension process, everything else, you'll get different key codes, different objects, different energies, all these different templates, and meeting with different masters is part of your process, and as you do it, you are really getting to know yourself and getting to know God, and it's like you become this child again. And that's where I understood finally what, and I don't, always follow Bible or scriptures or anything, but when things, ring out, I take mind to it, I take notice. So when they say to enter into the kingdom, you have to be as a child. Well, that's true, because you come up, this ascension process it's being created each day. There's a few of the base mechanics, but how you experience it and how you go through it is your creation. So you show up as a child, letting go of all these things that don't serve you, and you're like, oh wow. As you get a new energy, you go back and re-explore life like you've never seen, touched, felt, or experienced it ever before, because you have not, in this new energy, this new vibration, you have not experienced that. Now how you feel, experience, and interact with the reality around you changes. So each time you grow and evolve, which can be daily or weekly, you lose more of the lower energies and you become more love, which is more childlike and very innocent. And you're just like, oh, I just want to play with everything. What can I do with this? And that's where the joy of it comes in. You will be amazed as you move through it. Oh, wow, I never had this feeling, this energy. Whoa. And then you'll be like a little kid, excited, running through it. And you're like, this is so amazing. And this is where it's personal and fun and exciting, and that's, I did a bunch of videos on the ascension process that I went through, so please feel free to go through them and capture, where I started and where I am to right now. And you can see how the process has changed, you can see where I started out, with what was given to me then, and I wasn't given any more than what it was. So they said, as you go through it, deliver it just like you're going through it, what your experience is, and also what you're receiving as highest guidance, and that's what, the celestials and my master guides, angels, and, all these beautiful beings of the higher echelons of light are giving to me and tell me this is the things to go through. So it's phenomenal, the process, and this is the joy of it, that it has to be personal because we want it to be. That's the joy of moving through it. We didn't come to just step right in and not appreciate or even, take part of it. Part of the ascension is truly learning how to connect with all of yourself and even all of creation. And nobody's denied this process. That's why they set it up like this, because it is a profound joy and a sensory experience. As you start receiving the new templates and overlays and you are experiencing new energy, you're like, whoa, this is amazing. You're blasting in, you're tuning in, you're really vibrant. Everything's just amazing, and that's how it should be. Life should be joy. Life should be excitement. Life should be love, and that's what all this ascension is in the base aspect, So, granted, all these things are happening now. These are what will take you into the ascension, and how it goes for you is very individuated, And there'll be new energies, new things, new programs that will be brought forth to your attention from your ascension team, your master guides, or if you're working with someone, any different way shower that is doing this ascension process, just like me, I'm here to assist you in any way. You need help, you want to really step into this, I'm available. I'm here to assist as a way shower, and as I've already, walking through this so that I can do that, and my desire and also Source's desire is to assist one another in also providing the tools of self-empowerment. So one, we don't have to rely on anything outside of ourselves initially, but then we're working together again. That's important, One of the greatest things that they're showing is the refinement of the ascension after you're doing all these processes is you start working more with other people that are on the ascension process, and they're saying, oh yeah, we're all working towards the same goal. Well, let's do this, and then all of a sudden you're like, that's how I understand angels to be, and that's what we're moving towards, is the angelic being of light, the Adam Kadmon, and that's where angels work together. That's what God represents, the totality of existence operating as one whole being of light, God. So that's what the different angelic vibrations are representing, and as we move into more as angels, we'll be uniting like that and supporting one another, and that's how we are able to access God's greater love, is through our unity and through our own love and support. So these are all these things that are going to move through the ascension process, get you going, ask, tune in, ask your heart and wait for intuition to come in, for guidance, if you're not certain, and just wait for the first, notion that comes up, if this is something that interests you, the ascension, get involved. It's very amazing, it's very special. And as we ascend as a collective and as the whole world, we can start building paradise. We can build all that really supports our truest nature, giving us the full opportunity and freedom to create whatever we wish, and not be burdened by, the old paradigm structures. So that's where, we want to take it as the greater whole. And then based on, each person's path, where they sit within the ascension process, you will eventually move through the transfiguration chamber of light. This is where, they showed me, it's like a big pyramid, and there's the ascension flame in it, and this like big diamond chamber where you walk into it, and then you will float up through this pyramid up to the capstone. And there's a capstone with the eye at the top. This is where you move through to turn into a light body. And they showed us, when we're in meditation, where you float up with your body, and then all of your physical being is basically dissolved, and all those etheric bodies, the oneness bodies that you've been working with through your ascension process, that becomes glorified into your new presence. That is your new matter body. And that is, you are a being of light then existing in the etheric, and not so much the grosser, denser vibrations of what we know reality to be now. So within there is where you have all this amazing opportunity, absolute pure opportunity with this fully, resurrected light body. This is what, when they talked about the return of the Christ, stepping into this unity body, which is light and love. And then you have an eternal existence. You will exist for as long as you wish. You do not have to go through death. You do not have to go through that process and end your life, your stream. You can take your consciousness with you, and with your new etheric bodies and these overlays and templates, and transfigure it into light. These are what some of the old stories are: mythical stories, biblical stories, Gnostic stories, Masonic stories. When they're talking about these high initiations, that's the transfiguration into the light. And this is available. This is what we're working towards. So we have to go through the processes. You can't not move through that. And of course, why would you want to? It's fun. It's a joy to move through the ascension process and to rediscover yourself, not only as a single being, but as an expression of all of creation, that you are an extension of God at that moment. And as you realize that, then you are supported in, loved as all of creation. And the opportunities grow. What do you want to do at that moment? What are you a vibrational match to? How much you want to explore with these new frequencies? It gets exciting. It gets amazing at that point, So that is what the ascension is so far. That is what the ascension is in my experience and the mechanics, and this is the ascension that's being, the guidance that's coming to me, As you look out there, there's other way showers that are walking through this path of ascension, and they're explaining what they're going through and explaining, some of the shared mechanics as well, and look for that, recognize that, know that, these are the ones that are moving through the ascension and that are getting the same guidance, If you're not really aligned to it, there may be a big level of confusion or uncertainty set in. And that's all right. That's, no problem, because we didn't know. There's those of us here that are walking this path so that we can show it to you, and that we can, present it to you in a way that you would understand and say, this is more fathomable or tangible. I now get it, I think. Okay, I want to be part of this. This is, I feel it, I see it, and experiencing it through you, those of those that are walking through it. Feel their vibration, feel them in your heart space, see what's going on. Is that what you wish to step into for yourself, which is going to, serve your greater self as well as all of creation. And that's where we move into evolution as a whole, as a full unified presence on earth, the full unity consciousness. When we move there, we then have God's creator source, full love and support. Because we have said we wish to choose, God's will over our own will, meaning we want to operate as one whole being of light. We want to operate through unity consciousness. We know that when two or more are gathered, that the potential is absolutely off the charts. There is no limit to it, what can take place. It's your openness, this open heart, that allows you to really, really pull it in. So that's where that happens. That's, as you move in, you are united once again. And then the potential just keeps increasing. The joy increases, the love increases, the magnetic attraction to others who are doing this. And then you're creating this whole huge field around the earth, which is allowing it to vibrate even faster. And right now, the earth has already ascended. All the different elementals and other streams of life that were ready have already ascended. They're waiting for us to join this ascension process and move into the new earth, which will be the transfiguration. So they're holding space. They've got all these new energies that are underlying this reality that we are living within. There's even the underlying etheric fabric, which is absolutely heightened right now with pure love and light, and with these amazing templates and threads and filaments of holy light and heavenly overlays and God's creation. It's all this stuff is there. It's waiting for us. I'm sure you've felt and experienced these new energies. That's it. It's already there. We are just working to step into it as humanity. So that's why we're delivering this process, how to step into it, how to be a part of it. This is what the ascension is so far. What will it be tomorrow? I can only tell you what they told me, the transfiguration chamber. How that works or when that will work, I don't know. And I'm not worried about it right now. Just wanted to put it out there just to say, what will the final ascension be? I don't even know how that'll work, you know what I mean? Or where you'll go, and I'm just only, really want to express the most of what is and what has been, and some of the base mechanics that everyone will have to follow at some level to be part of the ascension process. So that's what this is, to bring awareness, this video. What is ascension? How can I take part of it? Am I taking part of it? And how can I, be a representative of ascension for humanity? If that's what you wish, to take it to a greater level, because you don't want it for yourself. You want all of us to be in that same state of being, back into this Garden of Eden, where we're sitting as children, just happy and joyful, and we have all these new tools and resources to create with, and as we do that, we, start dissolving all this old paradigm reality, as we create new structures, new templates, new things that, completely support and honor our truest nature, our truest God selves. That's what we're working towards. That's what the ascension is, coming through my experience, through my guidance, and my presence. So yeah, I think that's pretty good for now. What is ascension? So thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being a participant in this co-creative experience. I look forward to hearing your ascension stories, your process, and how we can unite as ascending together for the highest and best of all humanity, and then all of creation, because we affect them as well through our being and through our actions in our lives. So let's do this together. Let's share this joy, this excitement. Let's grow together, and let's bring it to more of our friends, our family, and our loved ones. Let's do this as a unified expression, and we'll bring all the glory and the grace that we've been seeking in our heart center, in our deepest level of being. That is what we know we want, and now this opportunity is available on so many levels. So thank you so much. I love you all so much. I'm so grateful to share these videos and assist others that may be asking questions, So look me up. I'm on Facebook, Arian, who Atla-Ra. You can email me, Arian, AURIAN, ANTARA @yahoo.com. Reach me there through email, or send a message here, through the YouTube channel here. So I'm eager to assist and share with any energetic activations, templating, ascension support, guidance, connecting with your guides, your ascension team, how to move you through these processes. And then, maybe you're a little deeper in the process. We're also getting many of the higher mechanics to really step into some very higher threads of fabric. When you want to start stepping into 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th dimensional overlays and these different energy activations, we can work with that as well. Granted, you're a vibrational match and that you've done all the work to step into these higher things. So it's unlimited potential, and those of us walking through are getting all these new key codes, activations, and processes and programs, so we can help facilitate it. So here's the tools, here's the resources. We show you how it's done first, we bestow them upon you, and then you do it yourself. You lift yourself up even more and have fun doing it, exploring yourself, So we're all here to assist one another, we're all here to love one another, and we're all here to support in whatever way we can. So let us find this, glorious process, allow it into our lives, into, every moment that we are walking through our waking days. Let us bring this to others, and so that we can all start vibrating at this high frequency, where we have only pure potential. No more limit, no more lack, no more separation. Full unity, full love, full support, and full opportunity on every level. So thank you so much for joining. I love you dearly. Always an honor, a pleasure, and a delight to be here sharing and co-creating. Blessings to you from the Most High.